About 30 days ago, this was my physique.
What the hell? Oh my.
Okay, my physique wasn't that bad, but you can tell I went a little too hard on the bulk. Not only did I gain some muscle, but I also put on some fat. So then I decided to end the bulk and begin my mini cut, which leads me to today, down 10 pounds, and even though I may not be at my leanest, I definitely feel a whole lot better. So in today's video, I'm taking you through a full day in my life of how I transformed my body in just 30 days. Now, my day actually starts with the night before, and you're probably wondering, what do I mean by that? Well, every single morning, I've been having the exact same breakfast, overnight oats, and also, this is my own recipe. So not only is it low in calories and high in protein, but it is also delicious. So tonight, we're gonna be making peanut butter banana overnight oats. So in this recipe that I'll put in the description, I first poured some oats, almond milk, and then a scoop of any protein powder that I like. Tonight, I used a Nutter Butter flavor by Ghost, and then I mixed it together. Afterwards, I'll add some plain Greek yogurt into the mix, then I'll slice up a banana and place it nicely on top to make it a little fruity. Now, this is optional, but I like to melt a little bit of peanut butter and drizzle it all over the bowl to really give it that extra flavoring it needs to make this as good as it is. Alright, finally finished. Gonna let that set overnight. Now, I'm gonna try to get around 8 hours of sleep because getting more sleep can actually help boost your metabolism, enhancing your weight loss. And not only that, sleeping more is just better for your health in general. So yeah, gonna go to bed, knock out, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everyone. We are now up, and the very first thing I do when I wake up is I go ahead and weigh myself on the scale. This morning I weighed in at an all-time low 174.2. Well, all-time low during my cut, so that's pretty good. Down about 12 pounds. And then I go in the mirror to see how much smaller I got, and then I go ahead and eat my breakfast. Oh yeah. Look at that. So to remind you guys about the macros, this bowl has about 500 calories and around 50 grams of protein. So great macros, and look at that. Oatmeal looks amazing. Oh my God. I'm being so serious, this is actually good. It is now time to go to the gym. Now, if I'm gonna be brutally honest, I have gone just slightly weaker since the start of my cut. I have been lifting less, but that is a sacrifice that I will have to make when I am either losing weight or on a cut. And it kind of sucks, but you know, I just have to deal with that. Anyways, today I'm gonna be doing my back and buys routine. So it's pull day, and my routine from bulking and cutting has not really changed much, except for the beginning of my pull day. I started doing pull-ups now. I didn't do pull-ups when I was bulking because it was mentally deteriorating. It was mentally exhausting knowing that my pull-ups were just going down, even though I was trying to get stronger. But I've put pull-ups back into my routine and I've been enjoying it so much. My numbers are going back up and I've still got a long way to go, but yeah. Unfortunately, not only did I get weaker, but I also had to cut down some volume in my workouts. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not training hard anymore. It's just that the body takes a bigger toll damage and needs more recovery when you're consuming less calories. So when you're trying to smash exercises with less fuel, recovery is going to be a lot harder and you're going to feel like shit. So if you need to, by all means, reduce some sets, get rid of an exercise if it helps you, because it'll help you stick to the cut better. As long as you keep training with intensity and consuming enough protein, you'll barely lose any muscle. We're moving on to lunch, and it is a time of day where I try to get as much of my protein in as possible. And what I like to try to do is I try to save as many calories, carbs, and fats for the end of the day so I can choose to indulge into whatever I want to eat after dinner, and that helps me stay consistent with my diet. Anyways, today we're having pho. Now, I wouldn't normally go out to eat, but when I do, I would choose to go to places where the food is relatively low in calories and super high in protein, and a pho spot is like the perfect place. If you don't feel like cooking and you want to go out to eat, then I would recommend having pho. It's delicious, it's super high in protein. But if I were to cook, I would choose to make something like a chicken omelet for lunch or even a steak. Those meals and foods are very low in calories and very high in protein. After lunch, Taylor and I went to our local 99 supermarket and got some groceries, specifically these groceries, because we're planning on doing something big later for dinner. All right, so at this point, you're probably wondering, where's the cardio? So for me personally, I don't really do much cardio, like in terms of like running, Stairmaster, stuff like that in the gym or even around town. I'd rather just go on peaceful walks like this, like look at the nature, getting around 10,000 steps a day, or I'll even, once or twice a week play some sports. I'll play soccer, volleyball, sometimes basketball, even though I suck. But those things are just fun to do compared to doing a bunch of Stairmasters, running around. Those things are unenjoyable. And doing a quick walk around just nature, like right here, is very, very calming. So not only will this be good for my health, my steps, but also for my mental health, because it's not a very hard task to do. Also, I feel like if I were to do super intense, heavy cardio, I tend to end up eating more during the day because I feel even more hungry after doing a bunch of cardio. So, I mean, at the end of the day, as long as you're burning more calories than you consume, you don't really need to do that extra cardio unless you enjoy it. Unless you're like a crazy athlete and need to run, or like if you enjoy running. But me personally, I'm not a crazy athlete. I lift weights. I'm trying to enjoy myself. So yeah, and my arm's getting really tired, so gotta put this away. Now this is the time of day where the cravings kick in. So I wanna show you guys my favorite snacks that I like to eat on my cut. And number one, I have to go with strawberries. Unfortunately, I don't have strawberries with me right now, so just pretend there's some strawberries right here, just a pack. And this pack of strawberries contain 150 calories, a whole pack. And usually a pack comes around 450 grams, you can see in your box, but that's usually the normal size for strawberries. Only 150 calories for a giant bowl of strawberries. Like that, it's absolutely insane. It keeps you super full, satiated, and cures your sweet tooth. But if you don't feel like being healthy, then I would recommend Fairlife protein shakes. This protein shake only has 150 calories with 30 grams of protein. And then moving on to my final and third snack that I like to eat, it's gotta be popcorn. Now popcorn, 2.5 cups of popcorn for a giant bowl. I already ate some, by the way, but it's even more than this. 2.5 cups, 150 calories. Absolutely insane. I mean, 10 Doritos is 150 calories. Would you rather have 10 Doritos or a giant bowl of popcorn? I'd rather choose a popcorn. Now, if you choose Doritos, that's all good. Like, you can choose whatever snack you wanna eat. But personally, I wanna choose snacks that are low in calories and super high in volume so it can keep me full and satiated until the end of the day. That was so bad. For dinner, the special meal we had planned was hot pot. Now, if you didn't know, hot pot is basically a protein fest. You just boil a bunch of meat and vegetables. Today, we had a lot of beef tongue, fish tofu, occasionally some udon, but meats and veggies are the main cuisine, and it was a great time with my friends. Of course, I still had to track my calories, but the meats were mostly lean, and I had plenty of calories to work with, so getting full wasn't an issue, and this shows that you can still lose weight while having dinner with your friends. But we still have room for one more meal. It is the end of the day, and for dessert, Taylor and I went to Walgreens to get some ice cream bars. She got strawberry shortcake, while I got this Reese's, I don't even know what it's called. But one bar only has 180 calories, so that fits perfectly into my macros for the day. Gonna enjoy this, and yeah, today has been a nice day. I don't feel too hungry. I don't even have to eat this, but I want to eat it because I just want to have something sweet. Pretty good. Wanna try? Can I try some of the strawberry shortcake?
Not bad.
Now, I know I may be young, but one tip that I can give for those who are looking to lose or gain weight is that you should try to build a good relationship with food at all times. And what I mean by that is there are sometimes those days where we don't feel like following our diet, or some days where we're going out with our friends or there's an event and we can't really stick to our diet. I just want to let you know that it's okay to break your diet sometimes, because at the end of the day, life isn't all about counting calories, and it shouldn't be. It should be what you want to make of it. So if you want to indulge into that dessert or dinner once in a while, you'll be fine. Nothing's gonna happen. Just keep moving forward. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Here are the calories I intaked for the day. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next.